number of assets about the blue economy. Blue economy is basically marine and blue economy.
No, okay.
That's what it is. So marine and blue economy, and the ministry was recently set up by His Excellency the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and so it's supposed to regulate policy formulation.
There's that ministry.
Yes.
Let me mark your tongue a bit. There's that ministry set up by the current administration.
Yes.
But then, despite the strategic location of Ondo State, you said that these resources remain untapped.
Exactly.
Is it a vote of no confidence or a sentence of non-performance of that ministry? Or perhaps it does not know what it's doing?
No. It's not a vote of no confidence. It's a long to medium term kind of goal
Okay.
we get. So because it is largely not yet unregulated, they are working on a lot of stuff. Putting things in place. I know that's what they are doing.
Okay.
But from my own point of advocacy and what I've seen so far, the blue economy is largely on track, and we are creating the awareness, and that's why we've been here.
Why are we not serious in tapping that resources? Because at that place, also to say, you're talking about the setup of the blue economy ministry, and I'm wondering, should we really wait till there's a ministry so properly named before we tap the resources of the state, before we tap the resources of the nation?
No, when government is trying to do things, government don't rush into doing things. They get their details right, and I believe that's what the current administration is doing. We have a prototype of what blue economy looks like. Take for instance in Lagos. And if you give me the permission, let me just give you an overview of what the blue economy looks like. So the blue economy actually controls the resources and the assets of the country now. The administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the coastal road, which is a vote of confidence that they are indeed serious about the blue economy.
Yes.
So with the coastal road, it's going to open up all the coastal region in Nigeria, and the blue economy asset will begin to be utilized and manifested. But in the meantime, there are some key sectors in the blue economy that needs to be revitalized. They are already existing and they are working, but they're needing and helping government policy to open up these places.
We don't really need to set up another ministry for that.
No, basically because it's a subset of a federal government ministry, because the ministry will be relating with stakeholders from the federal level, federal institutions like NIMASA, federal institutions like Nigeria Port Authority, when we start talking about the developmental part of it. So it's not, you need to set up a ministry. If you don't want to set up a ministry, you need to set up an advisory,
maybe a unit inside a particular ministry because of compact nature of administration.
Yeah, but most of what you are doing is that if you are setting up an independent unit in your administration, if that independent unit can have the ability to, you're not setting up multiple ministry, but you need a ministry that can give account, because remember, blue economy is not new to the world. It's already in Singapore, it's in Philippines, it's in Maldives that we have in Africa. So we're just borrowing and rebranding and repackaging. It's not new.
No, I agree with you. My question is, why these resources remained untapped?
For every administration, for every government, the foresight. Like I said, I wrote an article and I really praise him because he had the foresight. That is the transformation that happened in Lagos, and this is the best time because he's now in the affairs of the federal. Okay, so let me give you a simple life story. My secondary school was in Ekpe. They transformed it. The real estate there in fact, it's 1% of the 1% in Nigeria that stays in that place. The same thing can be replicated. So the proverb of there's a Yoruba proverb that says, when you wake up is morning. So I think it is morning for us now.
How well are we now using the money?
Well,
it's morning for us. The same morning shows the day. Is it showing anything that we really in for the manifestation of our ease, so to say, in that arena?
I want to say yes because.
Are you saying yes because the governor went there for
no, not because he just went there, but there is a show of this is a governor that has vision. This I'm apologetic about it, but I pointed to that fact. The pointer to that fact is this: before now, there have not been any conversation around that. In this state, if not, the confidence stand in his leadership is decisive as a governor. My confidence stand. I'm from outside and I'm seeing what is going on. And I mean, I'm not inside yet, but I see that he's making steps. Okay?
You're outside where?
When I mean outside, I'm not in the cabinet.
So are you aspiring to be? Because you are saying you're not inside yet.
Well, that's the advocacy that we're talking about. Our advocacy is to have a special advisory role, or we can consult based on what we have, based on the experience we have, based on what we have seen. And I'm so excited that
must you be inside before you contribute to the development?
No, because it's a policy related goal. So you have to be a part of that policy. You have to be the one
compulsorily on the cabinet before you could do that.
No, not
that arena, especially.
And that environmental factor, we have not been able to correct that, and maybe because I don't know what
environmental factor seems to be big.
Yeah, well, there's a way to go about it. Where our mangrove vegetation. The mangrove is supposed to reduce the wave of the sea. That's the job. It's nature. 2 generations. That's why we can do that. But the mangrove is cheaper and it's better. And team, right? Set up a team, have a team representative that is key and grounded in this space, and engage stakeholders. This is what we want to do. Now, the blue economy is huge. It's not just fishery, it's maritime transport, it's real estate, it's ecotourism, it's renewable energy. I can give you on and on and on what this economy
engage
is.
Stakeholders. Yes, permit me, I think I prefer this engagement being stakeholders.
Okay, so
any stakeholder that any stakeholders forum that leaves out the people might not really be stakeholding anything, quote unquote. So what are these stakeholders?
Okay, so the stakeholders are the traditional. Let's even imagine that we are not in alignment with the federal government. Let's just imagine that. It can stall the activity. It can.
So you agree that that's one of the problems we face?
It's a challenge. It's a challenge that we have to outgrow. You know.
So when are we going to outgrow this challenge?
Well, as we progress in this experiment called democracy, I think we will outgrow that.
Well then, apart from this so-called blue economic endowment of Ondo State, there's also something they call the red gold. When people are referring to particular oil farm, golding for us.
The government is also keen because that's part of their goals. Agriculture is part of their goal in this current administration. So I believe the red gold shoe would still be coming red, and we'll be exploring. But one of the things I would just say is that we need to, there's the Amotekun that we have the federal police, then the communal vigilantes too. So all hands just have to be on deck.
They're doing their best, but they still have to do more.
You have to do more.
Tell us these areas that they still need to do more. Perhaps policymakers are listening and watching. They will be able to take it.
Yeah, one of those areas is surveillance. So let me give you an instance. I'm Lagos based, and I've seen neighborhood watch in Lagos. Neighborhood watch are not police, but they're more like communal police. They have bicycles that can go into streets. They are the people that are called neighborhood watch. They are representatives that are in each ward. Each ward, they live in the ward, they live in the local government. These are the people that will see somebody come into this environment today, he comes out tomorrow, he comes out. Who is this person? You should ask questions. Okay. Surveillance. Then
Welcome back, everyone. It's still State of the State on this channel. Of course, we've been having a conversation around economic development of Ondo State, specifically using the blue economy subsector of the economy as a point of conversation in this engagement. Still very much with me is Oluwasegun Ogunwa, and he's a blue economy expert, a business analyst, and marketing executive. Thank you so much for still being with us.
Thank you so much.
We've talked so much about the endowments that we have. We've talked so much about the resources that we have. But if we are really going to do all of this implementation of the utilization of these resources, do we have the manpower? Are we really also blessed with human capital resources to drive this development?
I'll say yes. We have manpower. We have a growing youth in the states, and we can train them and retrain them on several sectors that relate to blue economy. Roads are bad, and he approved it, and they started rehabilitation in areas they need to open up the road. They open up the road. In fact, one of the key areas that I take personal observation is in Bokoda. Along the Ikomola road that where NDDC is. So yes, I'm telling you, I was in Lagos and I see in front of our property there, you see that the road is there, and that's in Bokoda. It's doing other parts in Owo. It's doing different parts in the state. So just to ease the mode of transportation coming into Ondo State while we're driving into Ondo State, we came in through Ore is Ondo State. All right, and the road was very, very good. Just a bit of the section that they are trying to maybe expand for dualization, but I mean, so far so good. The road wasn't bad. It's bad. It's better than some other part of the states, other part of other states that their roads are relatively not good. So far, still members.
You see, one of the factors that have really made Africa underdeveloped till tomorrow is the problem of followership. Most times you talk about the leaders. But then the followers are just lagging behind, not even doing anything that they are supposed to do in engendering development. What should they do?
Well, when you talk about followers, there are political followers and there are sycophant followers. You know, they are praise singers. If you leave, they don't sing your praise again. All right? So loyalty, followership, they are two different things. Okay, so in Nigeria today, if you want to actualize your objective, you can. So what
I understand. Yeah, I'm talking about the generality of the people, the residents, and the people of the states. In the case of the Nigerian states, what should they do to back up developmental initiatives?
For that, the people need to be join the conversation of development. I mean, join the conversation. Don't sit back, fold your hands. Politics is for these people. It's for these people. It's for these fetish people. No. It is for all of us. Politics is life. The caliber of person you
pursue is life.
Yes, it's what makes life. Somebody say after God is government, right? So if you don't choose the right person into place of office or place of authority, it will affect your life. It will affect your livelihood. So what the people need to do, the people need to wake up, join the conversation, and people are, the drainage that the government has created, they are throwing debt into that drainage. And when rain comes, it's going to be flooded. Then you now point out to the governor, he's the one, he did the road. But you as a citizen that is living and causing environmental hazard, when rain comes, that's when you will know that this place is not okay. So the people themselves have to wake up. We have to take personal responsibility. Just as eating is a non-transferable responsibility, we the people, Nigerians, Ondo State people, we have to take personal responsibility to, we have representatives. These things are happening in our area. We want this. Go and talk to your representative. You don't go and talk with protest. You write. You come as an organized interest part right of the people, but people abuse protest.
How?
No, so some people it's not everything you protest. before you protest.
What should you protest?
No,
What should you not protest?
I'm just mentioning how it.
Of course.
There are processes. I'm not an activist, but I went to university. I work with activists. In fact, I schooled in Olabisi Onabanjo University. I work with activists. I know how their aluta goes. But before they do all those aluta, they make a press statement. They present their case. If their cases are not addressed, then they go out to vent by protesting.
Mr. Owa, how many times have you seen Nigerian people complain of hardship, complain of penury, poverty, and all of that they really attracted attention of the authorities before they now jump into the streets for protest?
Okay.
Are you saying they do not have to protest or to the hardship that they pass through on a daily basis?
No, don't.
I'm just asking.
Don't misquote. No, just to reiterate.
Okay.
Don't misunderstand me. I'm a Nigerian. I am affected by whatever policy that's happening, and I grew up in this country. All right. So what I'm saying is that even though we have a way of saying things, first of all, you have to have a documented record to the authority, to the constitutional authority. This is a documented record of our concern. Yes, you've done that, and there's no response. Maybe the big elephant in the room is not ready to attend to you. Then you go out to do your protest. And then, of course, before you do your protest, you have to inform the police. Of course, we have heard about the suppressed, but still do it, because if you don't do it, you're on the law, you are on the other side.
So you're saying it must be a peaceful protest, it must be law-abiding and all of that. That's your.
My point is you can protest, but it has to be law-abiding.
Yes. Oh, okay then. That's well made. Now, before we close the conversation, let's talk about the role of revenue generation in development. Most times Nigerians see revenue generation, revenue collection as a punishment. As a matter of fact, it's always a difficulty to get tax from an ordinary Nigerian. Some have said it because they do not see value for their money. Do you think under this dispensation that people should pay tax? If they do, they get value for that tax they pay? By law, they just must do it.
No, not just must do it. It's important. It's important for us to pay our revenue. I mean, Nigeria, outside Nigeria, in the UK, you pay your taxes. You want to see the value for the money. That's what we should. That's another discussion. But first of all, collection of revenue is important because it's what keeps the state alive. It's what keeps the state running. It's what keeps the state doing its key things. Nigerians are relatively people that are. There's a word I want to use. We find it inconvenient to pay our tax. Let me just give you a scenario not in Ondo State, but in Lagos. I used to live in a property before where the members in the property are not willing to pay for Loma. Loma is the Lagos State waste man. They're not willing to pay, and Loma is always coming to take that cash. It was until I protested personally that look, these people are running on diesel. These people are having staff. We need to, as a matter of urgency, pay them. If not, they now bring enforcement. When they bring enforcement, now that's when you start complaining that government is bad. So, but back to your question about the people seeing value. Yes, the government has to now prove their case at that part. You collect the revenue, you build infrastructure, you attract foreign direct investment. That's government business in that aspect. But I would say yes, you would collect revenue. But on the other hand, government should implement things that will benefit the lives of the people. Good road, water, good healthcare system. People should be able to go to the hospital and get treated, primary health care, even in people that are living in the coastal region, school, I mean, those are the basic things that the masses, the common men need.
You see, many of them will say that during election, polling booths will get to the remotest part of anywhere, but development will find it difficult to get there. That's the concern of some people. That's what I'm asking you.
So you say development, because development is a huge thing, and it's not a conversation you have, sit people down and you get it done immediately. No, it doesn't work that way. I'm a business analyst, and a business analyst engages stakeholders, different stakeholders. Some stakeholders they are just not on your par. You have to go married and manage their expectation and ensure that they are all carried along. All stakeholders should be carried along, and once all stakeholders are carried along, then you can see. When I mean carried along, they are part of the project. They are part of the development. They see an.
As we close this conversation, what more should the federal government do in supporting on those states? Most times there's been this complaint about federal government presence in certain states. If some of those states really enjoy federal government presence, what should be the disposition of the federal government to touching each and every state with its presence?
I would say that with the blue economy, marine and blue economy, it's a very good avenue or a very good vehicle where the federal government should see Ondo State as the pioneer among outside other states in the coastal region who are very much interested in bringing change into their states. For instance, the